Okay, let's see if we can kill another dragon this time.
Nobody will learn anything from me.
Where did you pick that up, then?
I agree with you completely.
We're gonna
Don't
do
say
that
you didn't
though.
know
Will it ever change?
No, this is a good way to get out of here. We need to make to the secondary base in the little house. I rechecked what the necromancer told us to do, and he told us only to come back when we know who's behind it, who's the earthly force behind the dragons being here. So there's no real point in going back until we've dealt with the dragons. I'm heading toward the ice dragon. Not because I think it's a good option to take at this point necessarily, but because there are resting places close by, so you don't have to teleport away every time. On the other hand, we could just climb up here and kill the fire dragon. No, we'll go after the ice. Because we know that there are other people already going that way, so there's a good chance we'll get some support. One of the main reasons I do want to focus on the dragons now is that I basically want some summon creature that can stand up to something that we encounter constantly now. And the only option I see really is the demon. So we want to move the game forward enough that we get to the 5th chapter. If we want to do more involved exploration of some of these areas, that's the time when we to do it. Not now. Two orcs coming out our way. Perhaps 3. It doesn't really matter. They're not gonna survive the dragon hunters if they follow us. And they don't. These caves should be clear, but no point taking chances. If we're basically coming down here to rest, at some point we're going to do it because we're fairly well screwed up, and I don't want to heal for some reason or use mana potions. So I don't want to stumble into any
You're in
trouble.
for it now.
It's really... Come on. Much needed supplies. Lockpicks mainly.
You're in for it now.
Holy crap. Feel free to move. Okay, didn't expect quite this much resistance. Would have been much simpler to just summon skeletons and go in. Ah,
Nothing to be had there. Nothing to plunder.
we can certainly afford the mana potion losses simply by the loot. It's more than worth it. I think I've looted all these. Dagger 200 gold. It's I'm pretty sure I've checked that before. So I wonder if I truly had missed that all, or are they respawning some of the loot too? I'm going back to rest. It doesn't get any closer than this, so might as well go back and rest. They should open up the Ice Dragon area and another cave where there could be allies. I certainly want to meet the dragon hunting group. I do recall the area was filled with ice golems, ice wolves, that sort of thing. So if I have to, on my own, try to clear the entire area, it's gonna take forever. There was a little cave that had, I think, a sleeping option. I'm not 100% sure on that. We definitely want to at least check it out. It's at least 30 seconds closer to where the action is. Snap. It's cheaper to just skeleton going. Ooh. Dragon snappers. That's no good. Okay, the cave should be here. There were 2 miners here last time. Okern. Certainly a dragon hunter.
Hey, you!
Do you have anything to drink?
I assume that it's not water you want.
No, damn it. I need something alcoholic so I can finally get rid of these damned headaches. When I haven't had anything to drink for a while, my skull feels like it's gonna explode at any moment.
Here, take this.
That hit the spot. So, now I can think clearly again. What can I do for you?
What are you doing here anyway?
I don't have any idea what we're doing here or when it'll start. And I don't care as long as I have enough to drink.
Do you know where the dragons are then?
What's in it for me if I tell you?
I've still got a bottle of gin.
I'd fight every dragon in the world for a fine vintage. Agreed. Give me the bottle. I'll keep that for a rainy day.
All right now, where are those dragons?
Naturally, I can't tell you anything precise, but I've heard that there are supposed to be 4 dragons. We've seen a red glow over the highest mountain at night. I swear by my mother, if you're looking for a dragon, then you'll definitely find one there.
So, swamp, ice, fire, and then what? It's probably in the tower, but why? What dragon is it?
I'm looking for someone who can teach me something.
I could teach you a few things. I'm the best fighter for miles around. Since we're friends, I'll give you a...
Yeah, not interesting.
Too expensive. That's less than anything to think about.
Huh. What?
Where do you come from?
We come from, the city.
I see, from the city then.
See? You understand. Here, have a swig.
What are you doing here?
We heard about the dragon hunt, so we packed up our stuff and came here. But to be honest, I don't give a shit about dragons. I just want a bit of gold. Dragons have gold, don't they?
Certainly. What do you know about the dragons?
I only know the stories they tell the children. You know, virgins, gold, fire breathing, that kind of thing.
Where are you planning to go from here?
No idea. We're still thinking about it.
You could go to the castle.
Wild horses couldn't drag me there. Not to the paladins. I'm not going back to jail. I was there once, and that was enough for me.
What about the orcs?
The whole castle is surrounded. There aren't any gaps. Trying to sneak through there is insane. If you try to fight, you're a dead man. Nobody gets through there.
Ah, really? What were you in the slammer for?
Like, I'm gonna tell you that, huh? You magicians are in cahoots with the paladins. Nah, my friend. Forget it.
Hey, come over here.
What do you want?
This valley's a dangerous place, and without the right equipment, you'll find yourself dead in no time.
I assume that you've got the right equipment.
You guessed it. I might even sell it to you.
Do you sell information as well?
That depends. If the price is right, I'll tell you everything I know.
How much do you charge?
Hard to say. But I think that 50 gold pieces for every piece of information I give you sounds about right.
I need some information.
50 gold pieces.
I want to see what he has to offer.
Yes, here. Now tell me.
Orcs, castle, valley of mines, dragons. No, I don't need information about dragons. We can figure that out on our own.
Tell me about the orcs.
The orcs haven't been here long. At least those orcs in front of the castle, that is. But I'm wondering about how well they're organized. Orcs usually attack blindly, no matter what. These orcs are biding their time. They're waiting, but we don't know for what.
What can you offer me?
Buy the lockpicks. Everything else seems like crap. We could sell stuff to him, but at the same time, we might as well spare it for the when we actually have something to buy. No, there's no bed here. I'm still sure there was a bed somewhere close by.
Hey, you. Guys like you should watch where they're going.
What are you trying to tell me?
I mean that the air out here isn't good for your health. And the place is just swarming with orcs and monsters. Not to mention the dragons. It's just a well-intentioned warning.
Are you the boss here?
Do I look like it? Certainly not. We don't need any self-important jerk ordering us around. When Silvio tried to act like he was the boss, we showed him and his buddies what we thought of that. There was a brawl. In the end, they left on their own. I hope Silvio wound up in a soup kettle of some orc.
Yeah, I can feel the sympathy from the boys.
Can you tell me anything I don't know already?
I can give you a good piece of advice, and it's even free. We can't use anyone here who faints dead away at the slightest dragon fart. Go home. This is a job for real men.
So, you want to kill dragons?
Smart ass. So, do you know how to bring down a dragon? Do you think the beast will just sit there quietly while you chop off its head? Something like that takes good planning and decisive action.
I see. And how are you going to go about that?
First, we'll scout out where we can find the beast. Only then will we think about the best way to attack.
How are you going to get past the orcs?
We'll worry about those details later.
I'd love to watch you do that, but I've got to be on my way.
Get yourself back over the pass. Otherwise, you may end up missing a limb or two.
Ah, yes. So here's the bed. Our new base of operations. First things first, we're gonna secure our path to the mine up there. There's a good chance there's other people somewhere here. Oh shit. Let's go. Excellent. Good work, guys. I don't want to go too close to camp. They'll attack the skeletons. I don't think the skeletons are up for the challenge. They killed something. I think the skeletons are all dead. That's fine. They killed one of them. Or they killed something, let's put it that way. We really could use some help though. If we have to go again through so many lizardmen and all that, it's just going to take a lot of time. Alternatively, use some other resources. Either way, it's going to be bothersome.
Another one of those things. All right. So much for you, filthy beast.
Nothing to plunder.
Another one of those things.
Oh, it's a dragon stepper!
All right. So much for you, filthy beast.
Yeah, so much for oops. I thought about just automatically assume since the first one was a snapper, the second one must be a snapper too. No. Either way, making progress. Statue of Inas. Never figured out what the special statue or does. I'm sure it was all very important.
Hey, you! How's your work?
Well, this rock is damn stubborn, almost like it was trying to prevent us from taking the ore.
So nothing special going on here. Which is just as well. I'm going back to take a rest in a proper bed. We're still very close to... no, I'll do something else. I'm doing a little bit of scouting. Basically transforming myself into something and just running about a little bit. I need to see if something's changed in the forest area. This way I can save a lot of time by not going into areas that don't have anything to provide us. I basically want to check only one place. It's to the left. I want to see if it's still blocked or not. It was blocked and it had dragon snappers the last time. Okay, here we have transformation spell and instead of potion, I get the summoner potion. So nothing too special. Dragon snappers, it's certainly blocked. Dragon snappers, yeah, it's no point coming here. That's the important part. Just prevents us from wasting time. It's sort of waste. I'm properly considering it a waste of time because we can't get any significant advantage from raising our attributes in one. If we were a dexterity user or a strength user, that would be a different matter, because it directly translates your damage and better weaponry. With us, you'd have to have a massive amount. It would take 30 points at least to get 10 mana points. I'm not saying I won't ever go and explore those places. I'm saying not with our spells. It's too cumbersome. Demon might change things quite a bit. We are really lacking quality. Numbers we can always produce, but it just isn't good enough. We could also do a test run in a way, but I'm basically saying we do have demon summoning scrolls, I think 2 or 3 of them. But at the same time we might have to kill dragons without any help, so that would be a good place to have those extra melee capabilities, or ability to just turn into a dragon snapper. Yeah, 3 summon demons, we can use 2 of them. Ah shit. 4-man groups, that's a lot. 4 to 5-man groups. Help of the Knight, we should be able to take down this one too. We need it to deal damage. I can now offer the distraction. Holy crap, it's not taking damage really from the Knight either. So that's a massive physical nowadays.
Alright, so much for
Nothing
you,
to be had there.
beast.
But this is genuinely troublesome. Half a dozen of them, not quite, but very close. It's we just don't have the time to take them all down, even if we would have the mana. I think we could probably avoid a lot of these patrols or guard groups if we would just take the proper route, but at the same time there's no guarantee that there is unprotected routes, so I think we're probably saving time by simply just punching through where we happen to be at the moment. We can just lure them to the nearby guards and at least wipe them out, if nothing else. And it's a good way to earn experience. But we do need to find the group that was over here trying to kill the dragon here.
Nothing to be had there.
Snappers, I'm worried about the dragon snapper. Okay. It's a bit troublesome. I need to have a better place. Basically, need to get the hell out of here. I don't have the spell power to keep all of the guys coming our way. Excited? No, there's more of them. Shit. I need to hide. Just climb the... and you're stuck. Oh crap.
One less monster around.
Well done. One dirty beast less.
Okay, that went reasonably well. As well as can be expected, at least. There might still be a dragon snapper up there. We might have also gotten... Don't know, don't care. Either way, we can clear the path now. I'm wondering what would be a good unit to use against the dragons if we're going to rely on summoning only. I wonder if goblins would be good. Because they don't attack each other, and I think the dragon is basically going to one-hit skeletons just the same. Also, the damage is probably going to be pretty much the minimum you can do per hit. So it might be better to just try to swarm the bastard instead of trying to do any quality work. Certainly one golem isn't enough, and golems don't work well with others for some reason. Okay, now things are looking good. There should be the hunter group somewhere though. It didn't just mysteriously disappear. There's one camp there and a cave there too. So what I'm hoping is that one location or another has them. Naturally they could have been all be killed. One.
Hey, you. Magicians make me nervous. Go somewhere else. There's nothing here.
Understood. Nobody likes to part with his booty.
You said it. Disappear.
I'm fine. At least we found the man. Ice wolves. How dangerous are you? Not particularly. Oh crap. Okay, am I seeing trolls, ice wolves? They're not as quite as dangerous as the warg, at least. I don't think so. Maybe they're actually quite pretty much similar. Hitting her. Fire roots, nothing useful. You could swim there. There's fire in a cave there also showing. Bandits. Wonder what happens if we use bandit armor. Technically, it shouldn't matter, I guess. Let's go with medium bandit armor. I don't think it'll make a difference to these guys, but maybe it does. It does. Excellent. Still don't have it. Oh my god. I need to distract the bandit because the skeleton goes down from the next hit. And it's the only one doing damage, really. Okay. This was a happy surprise for me. Exactly what we needed. Okay, what was the tablet? Doesn't really matter, it's not gonna make a difference at this point. Stone tablet of archery, too. Archery is now 36. It's a decent number, but not against enemies like this. By the way. Black goblins, orcs. Skeletons should have no trouble with those. Don't go after the troll, please. Lizard Man is gonna be troublesome enough.
Nothing there. Nothing there.
Another cave. Yes. We've been here before. It still takes surprisingly long to make any kind of real progress here. You could try to bypass these fights, I suppose, but at that point you're still in a very precarious position. If you make any kind of a wrong move, or if there's some kind of a thing where the enemy calls or creatures around it to join up, you're screwed at that point and nothing you can really do. Crap. So. To rest anyway after this, so might as well summon as much as we can. Seeing if I can put summon creatures to more use. They're not really taking damage, are they? So lightning doesn't do shit to them. The skeletons they ignore. They freeze up their enemies so they don't have a chance to attack. Yeah. There's one good thing about golems though, is they're usually very territorial. I mean, they cover the one spot they're being told to cover, but they don't really chase you all that far. So I think we're just gonna move past them. Maybe the path where the fire lizards were guarding would have been exactly what we would want to go through. Okay, this isn't gonna work. Silvio. Yeah. 1/5 damage to one ice golem, that's what they did. If the ice golem was alone, they might have taken him out. Not sure what the hell I'm gonna do with Silvio though. Basically trying the Lizardman route first. If it's unpassable, then we'll just run past it. Might try... oh shit. Crap. Try transforming into a creature and just sneaking past them, go to our target. I don't think this is passable. It could be an escape path. Okay. I'm going to try the transformation thing. Rest up, transform into some kind of crappy creature that's totally worthless. And then find a place inside there, maybe where we can invest, if we're lucky. If not, I suppose we'll have to go where the dragon is, hope we can basically take him out and then teleport out of there or run out. Whatever is needed. A lurker maybe. Lurker is totally worthless. It's a weak enemy and I don't think it can do anything that other creatures can't do. Rat at least is small, sheep are not attacked by humanoid creatures, friendly creatures. So everything else at least has something going for it. I think field raiders are sort of shit too. Not sure if they might attack a lurker. This is slow. It's bad at jumping. I don't even know if they're gonna attack it or not. If there are, we might as well just run on our own. Silvia's gonna murder us. Nothing to see here. Okay, our primary goal is to find a bed here. It is a full city, so it should be possible. If we manage to do that, we can just blast through most of these guys. Wine bottles, spell scrolls. This had a bit when we were here the last time. And it's still there. I don't want to save here. But it's certainly a strategy to get in, and I like it. I want to see a little bit forward, because there's a golem right next to that. Yeah, this doesn't look like there's anything else. No, because everything is basically covered in ice. All the entrances to the buildings inside. It looks like the crater there, where most of the buildings used to be, are very, very, very well under ice. It's not a simple thing, though. And we need to be able to freeze this bastard before it kills us. Okay. Situation isn't great, but where the hell are all those lightning bolts going? Fuck you too, game. We should be fairly safe here. No. Do it the hard way then. By hard, I mean easy.
Nothing there.
Okay, Now I'm sort of comfortable with the position we have. Comfortable enough that we can at least explore the insides. Potion ring, light fish. We have spell scroll here. Leather satchel. Gin. It's clearly another level. Oh crap. Why are you making this difficult for me? I still have to say I like the climbing system in the first game better. Simply because you can immediately see if you can climb or not. Here it's a question of, is it climbable or is the bastard gonna jump? Well, it's climbable, but there's no point to it. Okay. As far as I can see, we're very close to getting something done. There's something on the roof. But in order to get our hands on it, we would need to take down a golem, I think. That's, and I don't even know if that's gonna work or not. The ice golem. It's worth testing out. I mean, at least see if there's something here. Hmm. I'm sort of curious about something. Yeah, the golem really doesn't move outside its guardian range. Okay. Yeah, what I was sort of concerned about is not concerned about what I wanted to test is these scrabbling skeletons, because they will do a minimum damage. So I'm wondering. We can do a lot of these. Yeah. Single hit to take one down, sure. But these buggers swarm. So let's go. Yeah, I mean, they're attacking so much that it can't defend itself anymore. Excellent. But an obnoxious little swarm. Ice Golem Heart.
Nothing to be had there.
Okay, this might be very, very entertaining. And good use for an earlier stage spell. I'm hoping something similar can be done maybe with dragons. Because if you're going to do the shittiest possible amount of damage to them anyway, no matter what summons you use, you might as well use the cheapest ones so you can swarm the enemy. A single attack on the from the goblin is nothing, maybe not two, maybe not three. But when you got half a dozen to a dozen hunting on you, that's probably changes things quite a bit. Level up for me.
Nothing there.
Okay. If I knew how useful the goblin skeleton would have been, I would definitely taken it at the start. That could have worked for a long time for us. It's quite a bit cheaper than I thought. Well, not really. At the start, it would have been still fairly expensive summon, and it is very, very fragile. I mean, it's not strong against anything. Okay, can we see what's on the roof from here? I'm pretty sure there's something. Yeah, it's a chest. How are we going to get the chest? We are going to get the chest, without a doubt. Oh crap. Making things difficult for me, game. What is that? Ghost light? Missile. Maybe you can climb one of these. No. Okay. I'm trying to go after the dragon. No, no, no. It'll probably take a few attempts, maybe something else still to get to the dragon. So I'll try to get the chest and end it there. We'll wrap this up some other time. Well, maybe we could go there. It sort of looks like it's climbable. As using the same method as trying to get there. That's a bit more tricky, but it certainly looks like it's reachable. I'm gonna leave it alone though. I'll go after the chest. Rock. crap, crap, crap. So, just full of crap. Excellent. I'm fairly pleased with how things have progressed. There's a sizable area geographically concerned here, so it's hard to say what do we need to do to get to the dragon, but there's not that much area otherwise. There was a tavern, which is that building there. Then there's the huge cavern directly in front of us, which was where the new camp was located. I'm guessing the dragon is there. Then there's sort of a path going to in the middle of the tavern and the cave, sort of behind the cavern, and that led to a mine. It's I don't think it's part of the map anymore. Uh, it could be. I doubt it is, but anyway, it looks like there's still a sizable, basically over half or half of the Rusty Fortress here left to discover.